Hi everyone, I'm James from DoraHacks, and today I'm going to be running through how to wrap up your hackathon once the submission deadline has passed. So step one is going to be checking the BUIDLs. So head into the dashboard and open up the BUIDLs tab, and we can see the list of all the projects that have been submitted. You should have used the AI reviewer to score and approve the BUIDLs for you. And it's worth running another review at the end once the deadline has passed to make sure that any updates to BUIDLs have been included in their new score. So make sure you hit rerun review there first. That could take a few minutes, so maybe go away, make yourself a coffee, come back 15 minutes later, and the list here will be updated with all of the updates included. We then need to make sure that we're happy with the AI's decision. So every project that is approved are the ones that will be shown to judges. So jump into the dashboard and you can see here a green tick means the project's been approved. And if it hasn't been approved, it's got a bad score, then it will say unapproved. This is a test hackathon. So of course, most of these projects are empty, but I'm just using it for an example. It's worth double checking definitely any project that has a yellow question mark next to it. That means that the score given by AI was almost at your threshold for approval, but it didn't quite make it. So it's worth just double checking what the reasoning is, maybe open up the BUIDL yourself. And if this one should be included, you can manually approve it to include it in the judging round. That goes with any project. So if you have enough time, you can look through every single submission that you have. But the main thing to check is the ones that weren't approved, but perhaps should have been. You can, of course, reject projects if they shouldn't have been approved. You can jump in and overrule the decision by AI. Now that we're happy that all the projects that we want to be included in the judging round have been approved, it's time to move on to step two, which is AI judging. So we'll head down into prize settings and make sure the prizes are set up first. We can see this first one here that I've set up already is just called track one. Usually the name of the prize will align with the tracks, but you can also leave the track selection blank, which will mean that the BUIDLs in all the tracks will be eligible for this prize. Typically, the name of the prize is just corresponding with the name of the track. And then you can add placements, which is like first, second, third. You don't need to add a new prize for each placement. So track name, track selection, and then first, second, third for that track, if that's how your prizes are structured. Very importantly, you must add the judging criteria for AI judging. You want this to add up to 100%, obviously, and you can think of what you would be sharing with human judges to help them make decisions on what project should be given good scores. And save this, and we are almost ready to run AI judging. I would just recommend that everyone runs AI judging. Just as a side note, the results are hidden from the public. They're just available for you on the dashboard to help guide your decision making when you choose the winners. So there's no harm in running it just to see what AI thinks of the projects. It will be looking at the code in detail, so it's a really useful guide. Before we run AI judging, I'm going to head into prize judging here and configure this threshold. By default, it's 75. This must be higher than the approval threshold for the BUIDL review, which was in my case 60. So I'm just going to make it a little bit higher. So only projects with a BUIDL review score of over 65 will be included in the AI judging, just to save some compute power. The projects that were lower than this are unlikely to be the best ones that we received in this hackathon. When we're happy with that, we head over to prize settings again, and this will say run AI judging. I've already run it, so it says view judging results. But just hit run AI judging and the button will gray out, and soon we'll have all of the projects per prize or per track ranked from best to worst in line with the criteria that you set. Step three is inviting external judges. So AI judging is underway. We can leave that going ahead in the background. We head down to prize judging and hit the external judges tab here. When in this tab, we can set up different criteria for the judges, similar to what we did with AI. And in this case, I've actually copy and pasted the exact same criteria, but you could add more or make them different for the human judges if you want. So judging category one, innovation, max score 40, which was 40% for AI, and a little explainer. If you don't want to give them different categories, to keep it as simple as possible, you could just say score, max score 100 or 10, whatever it is, and only have one category here. So they only need to give you one score. But it's sometimes useful to see different scores among different criteria that you set. So that's up to you how you set this up. I've just done it exactly the same as with the AI judging. And then you have the option to enable the BUIDL recommendation feature. So by default, they'll be receiving all of the BUIDLs that were approved, not just the ones that passed that threshold. That threshold that we set in step two was for the AI judging. But you can, if you want to save a bit of time for your judges, enable this and allow the judges to have highlighted for them the projects that got in the top 30%, 40%, 50% of all the biddles that were submitted, if you don't want them to have to look through every single submission. It's up to you how you structure this. I'm going to leave it off in this case, so I'll expect all of my judges to submit scores for each of the projects that were submitted in their track. Then, of course, set a judging deadline, which is a week, 2 weeks in the future. Give them enough time to make sure they've submitted their scores and hit save. And then you invite the judges by email. So you can import a list from CSV if you have a long list of judges with their emails, or you can just do it manually if it's not too many. So email name, which tracks they should be judging for, and you can add multiple judges here. Send invitations. They'll receive an email with a magic link taking them to a DoraHacks dashboard. They won't need to create an account or log in or anything like that. They'll have all the biddles that they should be judging, whether that's for all tracks or just for specific tracks, and they'll be able to leave their scores and comments directly in the dashboard, which will be there for you to review and choose the winners, which will be the final step. I'm invited myself as a judge for this hackathon, so I've received this email here where I just have to hit Access Judging Dashboard to open up the dashboard where I can leave my scores. It will also show me the deadline for when I need to submit my scores by and provide some extra contact information. So if I hit Access Judging Dashboard, it will take me to the dashboard here. Again, no need to log in for the judges, unlike what it used to be like with the DoraHacks judging system. And all the biddles for the track that I was assigned to will be shown here. So I just jump in, I can see the project on the right-hand side, any information, the details about the project, team, milestones, all the information that they've submitted in their biddle is there on the right. And I can leave my scores here on the left, which are the scores that were set by you, the organizer. So leave my scores. Let's say this one's very good, full marks, submit, and then I can move on to the next biddle. And you just go through each of them one by one. They can leave and come back as well by hitting that link again. That's no problem. And when they're finished, all the scores will be collected for you, the organizer, along with the AI scores on the dashboard. And we'll move on to winner assignment next. The final step, step 4, is winner assignment. So I'm going to head into the winner assignment tab here on the panel and go into track 1. So you'll have different tabs here, different columns for each of the prizes that you set up. So in this case, we had just track 1 and then best use of RTech, which was across all the tracks. And we can see side by side, we have the AI judging results along with the external or human judging results. In this one, of course, all of these projects would have got a very low score. So they were below the threshold we set of 65 to be included in AI judging. Of course, this is just a test hackathon, but you would have all of the biddles for this prize ranked from best to worst according to AI here. You can change what you're sorting it by, so either the AI score or the external score. And if you open it up, you can expand to see the reasoning behind the score it got for each of the criteria that I set along, so with the total score. It'll also give you a code review score if there's a GitHub repo attached, which there obviously isn't in this case. And then this is the initial BUIDL review score from that first stage screening, those requirements that we set right at the start of the hackathon, just to give you some guidance and remind you how the project did when it was first submitted. So the overall score here we have is 58, and the external judges, we can see an average of 60. There was only one judge in this case. If the judges had left comments, they would be shown here as well. So all of the information submitted by all the judges is collated here for you on the dashboard, and you can compare the AI scores with the external judging scores side by side. And that's the same for each prize that you've set up. When we are ready to announce the winners, we head to winner assignment, and it gives you some suggestions based on the AI, or you can just manually type the name in here. So let's say we want BUIDL AI movie. We can add that into the first place and then drag and drop them into the right placement. So we'll just add a few more. Adam's project can have second and videos can be third. Save. And then the same for this one. There's a couple of honorable mentions we'll put in. And we are ready to go. So when you're happy with how this looks, all the projects have been assigned to their winning categories, hit save. It's not published yet, so that just means on the back end, we're ready to go. If, for example, you're doing a closing ceremony or an announcement on social media, you can do all of this before that announcement. Nothing is public yet. Only when you head over to announce and announce the winners will the winners page be published. Everyone will be sent an email, and the hackathon will be marked as finished. So in here, you can just put thanks to all participants, or whatever it is, everyone, and announce the winners. Now, make sure everything is set up correctly on winner assignment before you do this, because you can't go back and change it afterwards. But we're happy with this. We're going to confirm and then show the results on the hackathon page. I would suggest doing this straight away. And then what that will do is I'll go back to the hackathon page. It will create a tab called winners, showing the winning BUIDLs for this hackathon. So we can see here, this is a nicely presented description of all the winners, and you can head over to each BUIDL by clicking on it here. So you can share the URL to this winners tab on your social media if you want to wrap up the hackathon, and that's it. Then it's up to you to contact the winners by email or Telegram to arrange winner prize distribution. But your hackathon has been wrapped up, and I hope this video was useful.